Like there was so much crunch that I legitimately described it as chewing metal. It hurt
Oh my God.
physically to bite through.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Expensive Tastes, the show where we order and review the most expensive item on the menus of our favorite everyday restaurants. I'm Jensen.
I'm Skylaar.
My name is Clay.
I'm Lynne.
Today, on our very first episode of Expensive Tastes, we decided to go to arguably the most fancy restaurant, McDonald's.
I don't think there's anything arguable about that one.
Might be true.
No.
So, before we explain the entire answer of the question, what is the most expensive item on McDonald's menu, what did y'all think it was going to be before we went in?
Nuggies.
We had calculated out that it was probably gonna be nuggets for the longest time, so sure it's gonna be that.
Oh yeah, big nugget counts was going to be big price. That's kind of what I thought, but
So, before another important housekeeping thing to do before we say what the most expensive item on the menu was, here are the rules that we're using to determine what one item is when we go to order these items for the entire podcast. So, it has to be one menu item. It has to be just one orderable item. On a receipt, it has to show up as one price. It has to be on the menu when we physically go to the restaurant. It can't be like something that was on there and we're just talking about it. We have to be able to buy it day of. No catering items. No add-ons to the item. No like extra sides or anything. No secret menu items like Starbucks drinks. Nah. Straight up menu items. So, the most expensive item at McDonald's when we went was the 10-piece chicken tender meal for a whopping total in West Virginia of $13.
so much.
So I think it's
nuggets,
important.
Or not nuggets, tenders. We were like
I think
halfway.
it's important to get out there what exactly the 10-piece box contained. So it
10
was
pieces of chicken.
large version. The surprising answer would be 10 pieces of chicken, one large Sprite, any flavor you can do, but we chose Sprite because it just hits different. And
It's McDonald's Sprite.
and one large fry.
Yep.
So first things first, we got back after having bought and regretfully we had to come back and eat the food we had just purchased. And first thing that I did was open a ranch packet, and my first note was just ranch cum bubble, ew, because tried to just.
You family friendly, Skylar.
Skylar.
But that was the first thing that happened. So I want you to know what my mindset was when we went into this.
Your mindset was that you
place to
hated
be.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably important disclaimer. I do hate McDonald's, just
Skylar
with a
straight
passion.
up hates McDonald's.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's a horrible place. It'll kill and hurt your family. But keep eating there if you want to. I'm not your dad.
Okay, so let's talk about the first item that we sat down and ate together, which was McDonald's fries.
Oh,
It was the side of this meal item. And what did you guys think of the fries?
Salt.
Salt.
the salt is right where it needs to be. It's so good.
Honestly,
No, you're wrong.
it's surprising, but I agreed with Clay. The salt's a little
What?
high, but that's why you get fries. You get fries for the salt.
No.
You don't
I've
get-
gotten McDonald's fries. I've gotten McDonald's fries without the salt, and they're as good.
That's wrong.
I mean, good is a strong word to use in the first place, but they were pretty decent. They were a lot better than I want to admit they were.
Yeah, I mean, they're McDonald's fries.
There were some cheeks. It was all salt. The mouthfeel was all wrong. It was just
Oh,
gravy.
yeah.
What do you mean? They had some really nice crunch.
No.
The
They
first
had
one
nice
I had
crunch.
was soggy and cold. That's all I'm trying
Yeah.
to say.
They were not crispy
Mine were
enough.
McDonald's
crispy.
fries go on a range from soggy to straight up crunch.
Mine was crunch.
I think they're a fine price for the fries that you get. The price of McDonald's fries. No, I've never heard anybody complain about the price of McDonald's fries.
You complain about it all the
Enough to
time.
fucking clog your
Well, it's 'cause you're a
arteries for half a cent.
I think it could have been more fries. They were not crispy enough, but they were
There's a
good
lot of
thickness.
fries.
They're the perfect fry thickness.
Thick?
Yeah.
This one meal item of food fed all four of us. We didn't have to like split it. It fed all four of us pretty well.
It genuinely was decently filling. Like, it was enough for a lunch.
It's so much. I can't
for
imagine.
$13.
I can't imagine one person being like, "Yeah, I'll have the 10-piece tender large."
Oh, there's no way. No human being should ever do that to themselves.
So I'm going to do that next weekend then, because I want to.
Hey guys, editor and host Jensen here. When editing this, I realized that my mic cut out for the next few minutes during this part of the recording when we're talking about Sprite. This is our first episode, so we're still working out the bugs, but we hope you can still listen through it and get through the technical difficulties. So, thanks.
Since you should never microwave McDonald's anything. What are you saying you can microwave from McDonald's? Their fucking soda?
Hey, language.
You could microwave the burgers, maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No.
The amount of preservatives that are in
Microwave the
there,
wraps.
like, yes.
You could definitely microwave the wraps.
I've never
I
gotten a
never had
wrap,
the
so.
wraps, so that one might be... I've heard through the grapevine, that undercover railroad they have, but for McDonald's wraps, that you can microwave them. It's okay. No one will shoot you.
Oh, the most
I
trustworthy
think it's only
source.
acceptable.
So,
I think it's
to
only
get us
acceptable
back
to microwave
on
the milkshakes and maybe the salads.
You
That
can
could
microwave the milkshake?
to get us back on topic, let's talk about soda. Which 99% was just for the meme.
Have you all ever licked a battery?
Yes.
Because that's the sensation it gives you.
Honestly, I want you to know that my first note is actually made me sick.
I want you guys to know.
Like, I drank it, immediately I wanted to throw up.
Chip Skylark over there actually had to leave the room for a minute.
Did you drink
This
more?
battery acid just killed 3 of us.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, it's the battery acid.
Whatever they put Super Saiyan 2 essence in there, because it really do taste like Super Saiyan 2. The memes are correct.
Ronald McDonald himself makes this Sprite.
Honestly, though, I could feel the sugar in it, like, increasing my heart rate as I sat there. Oh,
That's how you know it's
by
good.
the time we got to the end, we had just a little bit of the Sprite left over, and I tried to offer it to all of the other people at the table, and literally not a single one of us wanted to drink it. So that should tell you how little of this beverage you should consume. Yeah, which is pretty. I mean,
That's pretty dope.
If you
They
don't like
also
your heart
almost
rate
went-
increasing by like 30 beats per minute, yeah, that's a good price.
they also only spend like 12 cents on it, so it's not like they're losing any money. But
The real price is your health.
That's true. Just get a Coke Zero Sugar. Except, no, they don't have that. They have Diet Coke, which is worse. So,
it also is probably worse.
AKA normal Sprite and Sprite, but objectively worse.
Sprite, but with peach.
I thought you were going to say bees.
I got some
might
bad
be
news.
10% chance there is.
That might be why it hit different.
We can definitively agree that it does hit different.
But not in a good way.
It hit different in the best way.
Chicken
I'm gonna
tenders.
set a really dark joke, and that would not have been a comedy.
So, I guess we should move to the main course of this like meal.
Meat and potatoes, if you will, but not potatoes, only meat.
Just the meat.
And only arguably meat.
Yeah. It was the 10-piece chicken tenders.
Oh, I my first bite was no sauce, just chicken, and I
Yeah,
gotta
we
say,
all had to take a no sauce bite.
when I bit into it, I expected like chicken tender, and then I just got like beef jerky consistency.
Oh, like there was so much crunch that I legitimately described it as chewing metal. It hurt
My God.
physically to bite through.
One of my notes for the attendees is crunchy.
Yeah, they do be kind of crunchy though.
The dry bite for me was very bad. I've been into that, and like, you know when you eat a chicken tender and it's like juicy and that keeps you from like dying?
Yeah.
No juice.
You got tenders.
On
and
none of
juice.
these tenders had juice. It was like, oh, like it was so bad.
One of my first thoughts was back to the Impossible Quiz, if anyone has ever played it.
Oh, God.
Yes.
The specific question where it asks chicken McNuggets, and then the answer is tasteless white fill. It is so
Tasteless white
painfully accurate.
Like they tasted fine, I guess. It didn't like offend me, but God, the
Really?
texture just killed me.
You thought they tasted
didn't
like
offend
something?
you?
No, and that's what was beautiful about it.
They didn't taste like, literally, they were just 90% stringy chicken tendon. Like, it was one of the least tender foods I've ever eaten.
Isn't the whole point of a chicken tender to be tender?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
this one was trying to be rubber, so if that was its mission, it did pretty well.
It succeeded. That's a 5.
We did get like 5 or 4 different sauces.
We
And
had
the way we went about getting these sauces was a bit not how you would normally get sauce as a human being.
Well, the issue is that I didn't know we wanted multiple sauces, so I asked for just barbecue, and then I was told to get a bunch of sauces. And at that point, you can't return to a busy McDonald's to go, hey, can I get 6 kinds of sauces, please? They're not going to agree. So instead, we had to covertly ask with each of our 4 people for more sauces, and one random stranger who just wanted to help us out for some reason. But we ultimately got honey, barbecue, ranch, and sweet and sour.
Not honey barbecue, honey.
Just regular honey.
The
Honey.
best dipping sauce.
Which, honestly, it was by far the best of the dipping sauces we ate.
Yeah, honestly.
I didn't get to try
Like
it.
for me, the honey fixed the problem that the tenders weren't juicy.
Yeah.
Like it fixed that problem. So it was like, oh, this tastes like a chicken tender now. This is good.
Generally,
Oh,
the
no,
chicken
no.
tenders, they became... I'm sorry that you didn't get them, because it just became a spoon by which I would eat honey. That was the only reason I kept eating them.
Y'all goblins took all of the honey. I'm like, well, I guess I'll enjoy sweet and sour and barbecue.
To be
which
fair,
should
we
be
only
fair.
had 2 or 3.
We had 4. We had 3 or 4. I know I had 3 or 4 in my hand.
We had 3 honey.
We had 3 honey.
I got barbecue sauce, which sort of fixed the issue, but it still didn't taste good.
The McDonald's barbecue sauce really be the
It
classic.
really did.
So that random stranger, by the way, when he asked for the ranch, he just kind of like, you know how if you're like doing a drug deal, you just kind of drop it. Homeboy just like he asked for ranch for us, and he was like, okay, get it.
Lynn, what was that that tier list of sauces you found before? Because
Oh,
I want
Sauce tier
to...
list.
Sweet and sour and barbecue were an S tier.
Was
There
sweet
was
and sour that good?
That's fine. There's nothing in A or B tier, and then like everything else is in C and D tier, except for
Honestly-
honey, which was unlisted.
The honey should have been S tier. I didn't try the sweet and sour, but the barbecue is definitely a step below the honey. It's still pretty good. It would have been the A. The ranch might have actually been like, is there below an F tier? It was so
Yeah, it's called P.
genuinely bad. It was P tier. Honestly, I might have preferred to dunk my chicken tender in pee. It was that bad.
I only said PU because that's the Pokemon tier for where things go to
The
die.
ranch was a bit creamy.
Creamy.
And it tasted like nothing. It was so gross.
Well, nothing tastes better than ranch does. Like, I would take the taste of nothing over the taste of ranch.
You're so wrong, and it makes me sad how wrong you are, but it's okay.
I'm alright with being wrong in this case.
What?
So I want to talk about the box. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but for some reason, McDonald's went with like the most like futuristic, like 2040 design it could possibly imagine for its chicken tender box. Like normally they're these weird like brown cardboard that are like they clearly have just taken a printer and mass produced these all at once. This legitimately looks like what you would put a drink in, like that kind of plastic, but instead a weird half plastic, half cardboard. And it honestly looked kind of good. And the sauce packets are like iconic. So like the non-food presentation was great. But on the side of the box, it said no artificial preservatives, colors, and flavors. And in this case, I don't know if that was a good thing.
I'm also not entirely convinced that that's truthful.
I'm almost certain it's not, but...
Straight up.
I'm sorry, this is slandering the good name of Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
Lads.
I mistyped my notes. I spelled McDonald's wrong, and it says McDonald's.
Well, we can take you back to kindergarten once
Please don't tease me.
Jensen?
You cannot reference that. That is the one thing we are not allowed to reference on this podcast. I'm putting my foots down.
Both foots.
Foots?
Foots.
Bad grammar alert. Time to make fun of Skylaar.
Hey, we got an English minor in the chat. Get out of here.
Is that a grammar mistake?
I've stitched my foots together. I'm putting them down.
So, now we've come to the time of the podcast where we are going to rate our experience on a scale of 1 to 5. We have 5 different categories of which we will all decide our own rating and then probably argue about them. And then we each get 25 points from the 5 different categories for 100 points total. And the 100-point total will be how we rank this food item.
We should probably go category by category, just let everybody go through theirs and start from the bottom. So let's begin at mouthfeel.
The best one.
I'm going to read all 5 off first, though.
Okay.
And then we'll go through them one by one. So, is it worth the money? 1 to 5. Does it taste good? 1 to 5. The amount of food received? 1 to 5. Visual presentation? 1 to 5. And then mouthfeel? 1 to 5. Where would you guys like to start?
Let's just go down the list. Let's start with, is it worth the money?
No, let's go from bottom up. Because is it worth the money is kind of our overall category.
Okay. What'd y'all think of the mouthfeel?
Bad. Horrendous. 1. Like, probably some of the worst I've ever felt in my mouth.
It was so close to being good, but it hurt me. Like, actually physically hurt me.
It just felt like rubber. It's just not good.
Yeah, it wasn't a good crunch. Like, sometimes the crunch is good, you know?
Yeah.
This wasn't, wasn't it. And then the McDonald's Sprite felt like TV static in the mouth.
I almost threw up when it entered my mouth. It hurt. All I could say at first was, it burns, it burns, it burns.
And the first fry I got was soggy and cold. Like, literally everything went wrong with that meal that could have went wrong.
I'm sorry we swapped fries, because mine were pretty decent. The 3 I had were pretty decent.
So you want to go down and now tell, like, number-wise what y'all are putting this at? You can give zeros, by the way.
Oh, God, never mind. I know what score this is getting at.
Even though it physically hurt me, I will still give it a 2 because my fries were very solid. It was just that the chicken I thought was razor blades, and the Sprite was actually just acid.
What do you think,
I think I'll give it... I was going to go for a 1, but I think I'll go for a 2. Feels disgusting for the most part, but I do love the way the Sprite hits, and the fries, some of them were okay.
I think that says something about you.
It probably does.
I gave it a 2. I think mouthfeel 2 is pretty... It's not good, but it didn't, like... At least it didn't hurt me. I do think it hurt some of you, but you still gave it a 2. So, like... 0.
So the total mouthfeel got a 6, because did all of you guys give it a 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's a 6 out of 25. That's like a 24%. That's awesome.
So next, visual presentation.
Honestly, visual presentation, pretty good. Like the brown paper bag they put it in is always just like dog food, humiliating. but the box that it was in, the cup the soda comes in, and the sauce packets are always just like iconic. Like even if you hate McDonald's, you're like, yeah, McDonald's sauce. Like it's a thing.
Yes.
It's from your childhood. So like I genuinely, and no one can change my mind on this, give it a 3. The presentation was pretty solid.
Yeah. I gave it a 4. I think rating it against other food restaurants and then also rating it against other McDonald's boxes. The chicken tender box, it had its own handle.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of food. So like the way that they present their chicken products have a way higher standard than the way they present their burgers. So I think if it was any other item, it probably would have been a 2 or 3. But like this, like plastic, like box, like woo, that's a 4 for me.
So this is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen from McDonald's. From the box to the heft of the bag, I included that. This felt like a good meal. I think the fries are presented well. The colors are great. The chicken really do be looking kind of crispy, maybe a little bit too crispy. I give it a 5 on visuals.
Why do you talk the way you do?
You've known me for long enough to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Lynn, what did you think?
4. It was. That's like the one thing I can compliment this meal on. The box was nice. Sauce packets were iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have gotten 5 if I didn't feel humiliated when they gave me a brown paper bag that weighed 40 pounds.
That's fair.
I now understand why the chicken tenders felt like rubber. It's because they're the densest things on the planet.
Oh my god.
So that is a solid 16 out of 25 for visual presentation. Nice job, McDonald's.
All right,
Go
taking my
McDonald's.
job. I see how it is.
So next category is the amount of food received.
So for the amount of food received, so I very much had to take into consideration not only the fact that this is primarily going to be for one person, but the fact that we as 4 shared it. And it's not like we're like tiny people. Like each of us could eat an okay amount besides Lynn. Lynn eats like nothing, but everybody else could eat a decent amount. And yet somehow we all came out of it going, yeah, I mean, I'm good for now. So I would have to give the amount of food received for $13, even though that's a high amount, a 4.
Mm.
For all the same reasons, I also give it a 4.
I gave it a 5 specifically because when I picked up the bag, I went, whoa, like that was a hefty bag. I don't know if I've ever gotten a McDonald's bag that heavy.
Yeah,
Like it was a lot of food.
it was.
I was like, if this is for one person, that's a crazy amount of food.
Y'all are not gonna like me because I think I fixated on the price. I was like, this is so much. $13. Who's gonna if I'm paying $13, I want a little bit more than 10 chicken tenders, I'm not gonna lie. I also
feed your entire family for a week.
It was 10 chicken tenders, a large fry, and a large drink.
That's true. But man, it felt too pricey to me. Now maybe I'm just dumb or insane or I eat too much, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
an accurate description.
Oh yeah, I
of me.
agree on all those things.
Put that on a Tinder bio or something. But
Hey, what's up, little girl? I don't think 10 tenders is enough.
I gave it a 2 out of 5. Too pricey for me.
Oh my god.
Oh my
You're
God.
wrong. Change that score.
2 out of 5, too pricey for me. I'm not changing it. I upped it from 1 out of 5 though.
You didn't even pay for it.
That's accurate, but that's
Wait,
because
you
we're all going to
upped
pay the person who paid back. So
Wait, your
Yeah.
your 2 was upped? You were originally gonna give it a 1?
yeah, I was. I've upped both my ones.
Oh my god.
Wait, oh my
My
god.
God, you're a college student.
Yeah, I am. Like I'm a college student, straight up. That's how it works.
$13. I can't afford that.
Ah,
To be fair, he's a college student without a job right now because... Oh, wait, do you still have your job? I can't remember which CS kids got bodied and which ones didn't.
So that program is still up, but we've had one green and white day, and we haven't done anything since. And the CS department's in a big shift as they're changing the name and getting things together. So we've had nothing to do. So I haven't been paid this semester.
For context for all people, because now that's going to go on the podcast, we all attend Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia, and 2 of us are part of the computer science department, which has now actually been changed into the computer science and electrical engineering department. One of us is in the CIT, computer information technology, with an emphasis in game designing program. And
Don't out me. Don't out me.
We have a third in mathematics.
I said don't out me.
Which
a
I
nerd, am I
myself
right?
am also in mathematics, but I do both.
What was the total for amount of food? Because we are
That was
we are
a
far away.
15 out of 20. I realized before I had said 25. That is my mistake. Don't at me, Reddit.
It's 15. Skylar, stop taking my job or I'll start crying on camera.
Lynn, can you do it for us anyway?
Now I want to take your job even more.
Taste.
Does it taste good?
No.
All right,
it was
we're done.
salty or nothing or battery acid. I give it a 1 because at least the Sprite tasted like something.
Ooh.
I gave it a 3.
You gave
Like,
it a 3?
I gave it a 3. It was edible, and I didn't hate it. Like if somebody was like, "It's eat this or die," I'd be like, "I guess I'll eat it." But like,
You know, I guess
like-
that's a standard.
3 is average. I mean, 3 out of 5 is dead in the middle.
3 is I wouldn't use it as sustenance.
It would have been lower, but the sauces,
Sauces, dude.
Honestly,
sauces.
Never mind, the
dude.
sauce is giving another point from me.
I genuinely thought about dropping it down. My score is a 2. I thought about dropping it to a 1, but honestly, the only reason I didn't was the honey. The honey actually killed the
Yes.
game. The honey was the only reason that I kept going back for more than one chicken dinner. Because
If
it
you've
was
never got McDonald's
so good.
honey, get it.
It's just honey.
Apparently, it's the best thing there. It's just good honey.
It's just good
Hard to
honey.
mess up raw honey, like. I gave
If anybody could do it, it would be McDonald's, and they didn't.
That is true.
I also went ahead and gave it a 3 out of 5. It's chicken and fries, dude. The sauces are good. I want to now try making honey barbecue, putting the honey inside the barbecue. That could give it an up if it's even better. But as is, I'd eat it. You know, if I had a coupon, I'd go get it again, kind of a deal. Like it wasn't super aggressive on my taste buds, and I love the Sprite. I'll go back just for the Sprite, dude.
So total was 9 out of 20.
It's 10 out
Yeah.
of 20.
10 out. What?
Look,
I thought you gave it a 1, Lynn.
I opted to it too.
Oh, okay.
listen to the math major,
Total
y'all.
was 10.
Skylar's also a math major.
Yeah, but like worse.
Yeah.
Skylar knows to count
It's
from
not like
0.
all of your
so-
scores are consistently higher than mine.
Here's the burning question: the last food rating. Was it worth the money?
No.
No.
2. It like if we're gonna rank like, I think this is a binary question, so we should just say yes or no. But if we're gonna rank it on a 1 to 5 system, not really. 2.
You gave it a 2? I'm honestly shocked. Even
I
with
also gave it a 2.
I also gave it a 2.
even with all of the praises I sang for the honey, for the presentation, even for the fries, which were pretty solid, I would absolutely not say that this was worth the money. Like, it was a good amount of food, but like it was decently expensive, and it just wasn't a good experience.
So is that a
That was
a 1 or a
a
0?
1.
So that's a total of 54 out of 100, I think.
Honestly, McDonald's, you did
What
better
was the
than I
worth
expected.
total? The worth total was what?
7.
7? 7. All right.
Assuming I didn't delete all my math before checking it and I did it correctly, that gets a whopping 54 out of 100, as McDonald's
55.
should.
That is the most average score for the first episode ever.
Setting the
Honestly,
bar
the
well.
fact that they weren't under 50, I'm surprised.
It's because
Yeah,
we have
I mean,
Claire over there
honestly,
singing the high praise of Super Saiyan
it
2
was-
Sprite.
It was the visual representation, the visual presentation of the food. They were like, oh, and we were like, oh, this is going to be good. And it wasn't, but
No.
we thought it for a second.
So we got advertised.
I did
too.
genuinely think we'd have a good experience for a second.
I mean, it's always fun eating with y'all until we actually get down to eating sometimes.
It's garbage. And we're like, hey, can we go somewhere else?
Yeah, we were in the car to pick up some mics for this very podcast, and I think it was Skylaar was like, "Hey, can we go get actual food after the podcast?"
All right, I'm quite happy with the scores that
54 out of
McDonald's
100.
got.
54 out of 100 is the most average score ever.
And if
McDonald's most expensive item is the 10-piece tenders meal with a large soda and fries, and we gave it a 54 out of 100 score.
in any McDonald's stands, at us, because you
at me.
are wrong if you think
You're wrong.
it deserved anything better. Honestly, if it wasn't for McDonald's breakfast, that place should shut down.
Oh,
Follow me at
that's a
coolmath4kids
little biased.
_ and then you can at me.
When we have a Twitter account for this podcast, you can add us.
You can straight up at us. I have no problem
Straight
with
up.
that.
That 4 is the number, not the word 4.
Again, it is cool math for kids.
Underscore.
so we just plug in
Where
all
did the
stuff
underscore
for,
go?
It goes at the very end.
Okay.
Well, everybody, thank you for watching Expensive Tastes. This has been our first episode about McDonald's. We hope you enjoyed.
Tune in next
See you
week
later.
for our episode on, hopefully, Tudor's Biscuit World.
Tudor's Biscuit World, episode 2, baby.
A Huntington native restaurant and one of the greatest places that you could get any kind of disease from. Really, just whichever one you want. You could probably
Honestly.
find a chef there who has it. So
You could just get a biscuit too.
Coronavirus. Goodbye, everybody.
Later, y'all. Thanks for watching.
see ya.